Good morning to all. Okay, here I'm Prerna Pandya from English department, going to share a webinar on personality development and communication skills, root cause for present era on behalf of Khyati Institute of Science. Sorry for the inconvenience caused to you people. Okay, now here personality development. What does come in your mind when you heard this word, personality development? Right? It's a big word. Is it a difficult word for you people? Never. When you just think of personality, you just bring an image in your mind, right? That image of any political leader or any director, any actor, right? So that is not in real sense personality, but personality is our own behavior, nothing else, right? So we believe here that the behavior, external behavior, outfits, looks, that all make personality. That is totally wrong. That is called a myth, right? So what is personality in real sense? Personality is nothing but personality is reflection of the self. How do you reflect yourself? What is your own image? Personality denotes your internal behavior. So what are your qualities, what are your characteristics, that only make your personality. External personality is always temporary. As per our occasions, we change our external personality, right? So external personality is temporary, it's not forever. The combination of good internal and external behavior makes an attractive personality. Your characteristics, your qualities, and your external behavior with other people, how do you communicate, how do you treat with others, that makes your personality. What is personality all about? Public speaking, behavior, listening skills, body language, communication skills, dealing with problems, how to deal with your problems, your difficult situations, anger management, can you control your anger, time management, and relationship skills. So, how do you create your relations and how do you maintain your relations? That is also your behavior, that also comes under personality. How do you manage your time? Here you can see that this is a pathway towards personality. So how you can increase or improve your personality? You can be an active listener. First of all, to be a good speaker you must be an active listener. You should listen to others very patiently. Be supportive to others. Whenever someone asks you about the task, about to help them out, you should be supportive to them. Be a good conversationalist. So your communication skills should be very much powerful, and you can be a good communicator while you are, whenever you want to increase your personality. You should always carry a positive outlook and attitude. Your positive attitude, your thought towards your work, your thought towards your people who are surrounding you, right? So that makes your personality. Keep integrity and treat people with respect. If you will give respect to others, you can easily gain respect from others. So if you are not able to give respect, you can't expect that people will respect to you. Okay, here again, these are called attributes of personality. Whenever you are going to improve your personality, you should keep in mind all these attributes. Without them, your personality will not be improved. Okay, first is smile a lot. Sometimes it happens that during my classes, I tell students not to laugh. Now, here there is a huge difference between smile and laughter, right? So, laugh and smile, but yes, when you're communicating with people, you should always smile. Suppose after completion of your work or after completion of your college, you return back to your home and any person, family member just smiles at you, you again get energized, right? So smile makes people energized, and in smiling there is no problem, right? So whenever we communicate with people, we don't have to spend any money over it. So nothing works better than a big smile when it comes to interacting with people around. Do not forget to flash your $1 trillion smile quite often. Okay, so if unknown person is also there and if you will smile, you will feel better. Think positive. It is really essential to think positive, right? So if your thinking is positive and you bring positivity in your work or in your attitude, your all works will be done very easily, smoothly, right? So remember there is a light at the end of every dark tunnel. So in the dark tunnel there is always a light. Okay, so you should always think positively. You should not sit quiet when you are in danger situation or in difficult situation. Okay, dress sensibly. This is very easy to understand and easy to learn, right? How to dress or dress sensibly. So when, as per the occasion, you are going out, you should dress accordingly. Okay. So for any formal interview, if you are going out, you can't wear traditional dress. Fine. So whenever you are going out, occasionally you should dress. Be soft spoken. Your communication should be soft. You should use soft words or soft sentences when you're communicating with others, and be polite with others. Confidence. Now, whenever you're communicating or talking with anyone without confidence, no one will be able to listen to you, right? Because your confidence speaks a lot. So, without confidence, your communication will be worthless. So, confidence is the key to a positive personality. A patient listener. Always be a patient listener. Whenever it happens, mostly during your lectures, that you're just listening to your faculty only to listen, not to grasp, or not to listen to words, only to judge that person or only to analyze the person. You should not do that. Whenever you are communicating and whenever you are listening to anyone, you should listen with a confidence and with proper listening skills, right? So it is a good quality to imbibe others knowledge. Okay, now here I'm going to show you conversation by worried personalities. Okay, one of the employees is asking whether the other two employees can help her in her work after they get their work completed or not. So here you can see the first employee, the first colleague who has answered that I was planning to go to the gym. She's just thinking, she hasn't answered, right? So she's just thinking, I was planning to go to the gym, but what if she gets offended? So she's thinking about both of them, about her work also, means she has to go to the gym, and about the work of the colleague also, who is her friend, right? So if she will not like it or not. Another colleague, she's directly saying, sorry, I can't do it today. I'm going to the gym. So she has just thought about her and she has not thought about the other person. So here I told you in the beginning also that you should be supportive to others. So she can at least think of her work also, right? So here there are two worried personalities who can, one can think about other and one is just thinking about herself. Now, to improve your personality, it is very much mandatory to know the self, who you are. So, identifying the self. Okay. To enhance our personality, we must know who am I. We should be ready to accept all the challenges and fight against challenges. So we should be always ready to accept changes. There are two identity actually. One is dynamic identity, another is static identity. Now who is dynamic identity? Dynamic identity is the person who always accept changes and who brings changes within the self according to the situations, right? And static identity personality is that who always not ready to accept challenges or changes, just stick to himself or herself only. Whatever qualities are there of him or her, he or she is just stick to his own personality. He will never be ready to change for anyone or for any condition, right? So he will not learn new things, or he or she will not do any experiments. So that is static identity. So we should always be the dynamic identity, not a static identity. Now, SWOT analysis. So to improve our personality, we must know our SWOT. Now, what is SWOT? SWOT analysis here is S stands for strengths, W stands for weaknesses, O stands for opportunities, and T stands for threats. Now, I have not given you here the points for each uh, word here or each aspect here, but you will have to identify your own SWOT. What is that within you? So here I have just given you the hints how you can identify your own SWOT. For strengths, we can see here that what are your what are you confident about? Okay, that will be your strength. You're capable enough to do what task, that is your strength. What are you looking forward to? What do you want in your life, and what are you looking forward to? That is again your strength. What are you enjoying right now? What task feel you enjoyed, or what particular place feel you enjoyed? So what are you enjoying right now? That is your strength. Weaknesses, what are you unconfident about? In what particular task you're unconfident, right? In what feelings you're unconfident, that is your weakness. What causes you stress? What gives you stress? Okay, so that is again your weakness. What do you fear about? In what particular task do you feel fear? That is also your weakness. So try to identify strengths and weaknesses. Now, opportunities, what do you feel about developing your self confidence? How can you develop your self confidence? What opportunities will feel you proud to create your own or to improve your own self confidence? What opportunities are there in this for you as a student? Okay, there are different parameters. Among these parameters, what opportunity do you find in that particular parameter as a student, right? So that is again your opportunity. What field uh, creates you attraction, right? So that is again your opportunity. Now, threats, what threats are there? Do you feel threatened by the thought of changing your reactions? Mostly it happens that once we have given reaction to the particular thing, again after a few moments, after listening to others, we change our reaction. Why should we do that? Whatever our own reaction is there, we should just keep that reaction as it is. We should not change reaction for others, or we should not be threatened by our reaction. Second is, what are the dangers in this to you as a student? Okay, what dangers do you find? What difficulties do you find as a student in the particular field or in the particular subject? So that you should identify, and then you should work hard for overcoming your danger. So this was SWOT analysis, and that is mandatory to improve your personality. Now here I have shared identity of personalities. There are 4 personality types and one more type you can see at the end. First, type A, that can be the director also, right? Because you can see the qualities of type A personalities are, they are always goal oriented, risk taking. Okay, so accept challenges every time. Good under stress, they can easily cope up with the stress, with the difficult situation. So that is type A category. Type B is the socializer. Here you can see the qualities. They are always relationship oriented. They are outgoing also. They are too much enthusiastic also. So they can do any particular task at any cost, right? So that is type B personality. Type C is the thinker. Those who are thinkers, they can change the world, right? Detail, they are always detail oriented. They are logical as well, and they are well prepared for that particular task or work. Now type D personality, they are the supporter. Here you can see the qualities: task oriented, stabilizing, they are always stabilized in any situation, cautious, they are always cautious and they work on any safe mode only, right? So these are four different personalities which we can see, and on the base of that we can decide our own personality also, that in which personality do we belong. Now last is type X personality, that combines two or more personality types when they are equal. So here it doesn't mean that we are only a single type personality, we can be the personality of two or three types also, right? Now at the end of personality development, I have just quoted here the thought by Swami Vivekananda, that is, in a day when you don't come across any problems, you can be sure that you are traveling in a wrong path. So every time, whenever there are no problems, you find no problem in your life, that means you are on a wrong path, right? So without problems, there is no life. Now, next important aspect, that is communication skills. And this is also I have heard or I have just observed that people, or mostly my students, they feel that also as a difficult word. That is not that much difficult word as it looks like. Okay, so communication skills, to groom yourself, this is also important. Now what is communication skills? It is not only verbal communication skills, it is also based on many different aspects. Here I have just quoted good communication skills are the key to success. So if you are having good communication skills, you can work very well in your organization or at your workplace. Now what are the basics of communication skills? Communication skills, the word is derived from a Latin word, that is communis. Now, what is communis? Communis means to share, sharing of your thoughts, ideas, images, experiences, expressions, right? That is called communication. Now, to learn this language, communication skills, there are four skills which are important. Here the sequence is L, S, R, W. Now L stands for listening skills, not S stands first. Why L stands first? Because to speak any language, we should listen to it first. Okay, so listening always stands first before speaking. So L, S for speaking skills, R for reading skills, and W for writing skills. So that is L, S, R, W. Here you can see the process of communication, or it can be considered as the cycle of communication or stages of communication. So in our routine life also, whenever we communicate with anybody, we follow the same process. The thing is, the process is unknown to us, but we follow the process, right? Now, sender comes first in the process of communication. Without sender, there will be no communication occur, right? So sender is first. Sender is the person who sends a message. Then it comes ideation. Ideation, rough ideas are there in the mind of the sender. Then it comes encoding. Encoding is a process where ideas are transformed into a particular message, which can be easily understood by the receiver. So that is called encoding. After encoding, it comes channel or medium. Any proper channel or medium, like simple general communication can be there, any talk can be there, speech can be there. That is called medium or channel. Text message can be there. So any channel or medium can be there to communicate. So that channel is that. Afterwards, it comes receiver. Receiver, the person who receives the message. Now it is the turn of the receiver to transform that particular message into his own language, through which he can easily understand. So that is decoding. Receiver receives the message, he decodes the message. Now what is decoding? That is quite reverse to encoding. That means message converted into thoughts, into ideas. So that is decoding. Then response comes. If the receiver will not respond back to the sender will never come to know whether the message is reached or not. So that is response. And then entire channel, that is called feedback. So the sender has got the response by the receiver, and then he has acknowledged, he has come to know that the message is properly sent and the receiver has understood it. Okay. Now here, how do we communicate in a day? What percentage ratio do we communicate in a day? LSRW, again you can see in the reverse process. So listening is first, and we use 45% of listening while communicating. Then 30% of speaking, 16% of reading, and writing is 9%. So that is every time we use in a day while communicating. Now here there are 6 basic principles of communication, and you should also be taking care of these basic principles while communicating with anybody. So first is focus on behavior, not personality. So you should always carry a good behavior with people whenever you communicate with them. So good behavior makes you a good speaker also, a good communicator also. Be specific with your ideas. Whatever your ideas are there, you're sharing, you're going to share with the people, those should be specific. You can't bluff anything. Third is use the power of questions. Now here it is most important part. Whenever in the class or during the class, students are having questions. A lot of questions are there, but those questions should be logical. And sometimes it happens that due to the hesitation, they have the hesitation to ask the questions to the faculty. So they should always ask the questions which are logical questions. Fourth is listen actively. Again, listening is most important skill, and you should listen actively, and then after only you will have some feedback or you will have some queries if you have listened actively to the speaker. Fifth is communicate assertively. Without confidence, if you will communicate, you will fail. So whenever you communicate with people, you should be confident enough, and assertively only you should communicate. Sixth is understand non-verbal communication skills. This was all about verbal communication, and this is non-verbal communication. Now, what is non-verbal communication? Without using words. We communicate without using words. There are many types of non-verbal communication skills like gestures, facial expressions, eye contact, body language, right? Postures. So these all are considered as non-verbal communication skills. So with verbal communication, your non-verbal communication skills also plays an important role. Now here there are forms of communication. We can see verbal communication, that means face-to-face communication. Telephonic communication also can be that. Video conferences, seminars, speeches, these all are the forms of verbal communication. Non-verbal communication, as I told you, body language, gestures, postures, eye contact, facial expressions, proxemics, chronemics, paralinguistics, these all are the types of non-verbal communication. Written communication, books, magazines, email, letters, reports, right? Descriptions, technical descriptions are also that. These all are various forms of written communication. Now, visualization communication. There are graphs, charts, maps, signboards. These all are visualization communication where images are drawn or paintings are drawn, and you can easily visualize the communication and you can easily understand the communication what is done. Okay, here body language, and that is considered as the unknown language. Now why it is considered as the unknown language? Because we never focus on the body language of the person with whom we are communicating. If we just focus and analyze the body language of the person, we can easily come to know whether the person is in which mood, in which attitude he is, or which thought he or she is carrying. Right? So body language is most important part. So here it is mentioned, body language speaks louder than any words you can ever utter, and you can focus on this different body languages also, that the person is happy, is too much happy, one is too much confident, another is totally unhappy, and one is totally happy due to getting his success or something else, right? So here you can easily identify the people based on their body language. Now one more trick I have given you here, that how you can come to know about the people who are cheating with you. Okay, how to know the deceitful people. That means how you can come to know the person who is going to cheat with you or who is cheating with you. So here there are 8 ways to spot those people, those who are going to cheat with you or are cheating with you. Here you can see inability to look you in the eye. That means the person who is going to cheat with you, I mean going to speak a lie with you can easily understand that is unable to make an eye contact with you, direct eye contact with you, right? That means the person is speaking a lie. Touching the nose when someone lies. You might have seen this or you might have done this while communicating with your parents or with your faculty members, right? So sometimes it happens that when you are telling a lie with someone, you always rub your nose again and again. Minimizing hand gestures. Hand gestures are most important part whenever you're communicating with any people, right? So when you're speaking a lie, your hand gestures will be minimized, so you will not make any hand gesture, and your hand gesture may be you have crossed your both the hands, right? So that is again the person who is sitting with you can easily come to know. Shifting positions and fidgeting. The person who is sitting with you, it may happen that he's again and again shifting the position. Wherever he's standing or he's sitting, he will not stand at the same moment or same time or same place, but he's again shifting and shifting the position. Eye rubbing. This is most probably, I think, I have observed, you people would have also observed that the person is rubbing the eye again and again whenever he is or she is speaking the lie. Covering the source of deception. Which are the sources? You can easily come to know the person is cheating. Nose, eyes, right? So the person is again and again covering that face or that nose, right? Faking a smile. The person is giving us a fake smile, the wrong smile, is not smiling naturally, right? So you can easily understand the person is cheating. Maximizing body touches. The person is touches the body parts again and again, like nose can be there, eye can be there, right? Face can be there. So maximizing the body touches. So here I have given you the trick, so you can easily now keep in mind this trick and you can easily come to know the person who is going to cheat with you. Now, what is the importance of communication skills in workplace or at general place also, in general communication also, right? So communication skills, it should be very strong communication skill, and your communication should be attractive, and you can easily give the information to people. Good communication skills are always valued at workplace, right? The person is capable in persuading others, in convincing others. Oral, okay. Oral and written communication skills proficiencies are most desirable by employer. So whenever you start, for students, whenever you communicate with your friends, with your classmates also, communicate properly, orally and written, and that will be helpful to you for workplace also. It will be very much helpful. Communication plays important role in progressing uh, in diverse global environment, right? So that is most important skill, and you can easily make rapport with all people who are surrounding you. Now here, there is no need to explain. You people can easily understand. These are the examples of good communicators in India. Uh, One is Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. I have just taken him as an example of good communicator in India because whenever he just comes on any media, any platform to give a little speech, even a small speech, even we just sit quiet to listen to him, right? This is the best example. And the second is Rajat Sharma, the person, the identity who comes on India TV and telecasts the show, that is Aapki Adalat. And I have seen many of the episodes, and I can consider him also as a good communicator, good orator, right? Now, one more international personality is that can be considered as a good communicator, Winston Churchill. right? What is here? Success is going from failure to failure without a loss of enthusiasm. So what is the success? It is journey from failure to failure without a loss of enthusiasm. So when you get failure, it doesn't mean that that is failure forever. Out of that failure, with enthusiasm, you can move towards success. So Sir Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill, who was a British statesman, army officer, orator, and writer, and he was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom in the year 1940 to 1945. Now, this is the thought on communication skills, which I find this is really to be done, and this should be within you as well. Always listen with curiosity, speak with honesty, act with integrity. The greatest problem with communication is the greatest problem with communication is we don't listen to understand, but we listen to reply. When we listen with curiosity, we don't listen with the intent to reply, and we listen for what's behind the words. So whenever we listen to anyone, we should always have that integrity, and we should listen not to reply but to understand. So that is all from my side, and thank you for listening me very patiently, and thank you all.
लिंक भेजा है ना बीच में?
हाँ भेजा है मैडम, अभी लास्ट में भेज देते हैं।
हाँ भेजो भेजो, वही तो बोल रही हूँ।
रिकॉर्डिंग पहले बंद कर दो।
हाँ बंद